in the data rescue is that you're going to need to decide on how you want your data licensed, or what sort of access you expect it to have when you upload it on the repository. We're talking about different access permissions. And so probably the easiest way or the best place to go for information on the license types available is to go to the Creative Commons website, because they tend to be the licenses that we use for the most part. And they provide a nice clear outline or guideline as to the types of licenses, the different levels that you can choose from. And they even have this tool for choosing the license that you want. It's just a really simple, selection box where you click a few buttons and it tells you what license you're going to use. It's pretty simple and straightforward. So the licenses that we most commonly use, or that we recommend, are Creative Commons 0, or which is out in the public domain. And so that just means that you put your data up there, and you're okay with people doing whatever they want with it. They can analyze it, publish it, they can share it, they can modify it. It's just really, it's out there for anyone to use in whatever way they choose. The second license, which is probably more common, is the CC BY license, which is kind of the idea that here's my data. You can use it, but you need to give me credit for it. And so this is kind of the world that we live in as academics, where you're cited for the data that you've put up. Okay. They do run the full gamut. You can have things, things in there that specify, someone can use your data, but they can't use it for commercial reasons, right? So you could put Google out of business by putting things up there saying that they can use it, but they can't make money off of it. And so there are 7 different levels of licenses that you can choose from. Each level is a little more restrictive than the first. And there is also allowance in there for special cases, right? So if you have, you can restrict access to data sets, you can require permissions to use it, and that sort of thing. And so this is all really clearly laid out on the Creative Commons website. But in reality, what we recommend and what we hope with our data rescues is that you're using either a public domain or CC BY as a license of choice. So one thing I want to point out too, I'm assuming, oops, back here. So you have to be the copyright owner of the data to apply a license. And you'll see this term here where it says Creative Commons licenses cannot be revoked. And so what that means is not that you can't change the license level in the future, but if you start out with the CC 0 license level, so it's out there in the public domain, and you change it to something more restrictive, anybody that has accessed the data prior to your change will continue to have CC 0 access to it. You can't take it back from people that are using it. But in the future, or from that point forward, anybody that's accessing your data or using it has to comply with those, with the new license or the license update.